A heads up, if your morning commute takes you over the Gold Star Memorial Bridge, there is a new traffic pattern in effect.
Yeah, more than 60,000 drivers use that bridge that carries 95 over Groton to New London every day. Your reporter Sierra Jordan live in New London sharing how drivers can now safely navigate this.
Good morning, guys. The new changes went into effect over the weekend, but today thousands of weekday commuters will face it for the very first time. A heads up if you're driving along the shoreline or into Rhode Island this morning. Two northbound lanes on the Gold Star Memorial Bridge have been shifted to the southbound span. This is part of a $900 million construction project to upgrade the bridge deck and lighting. The shift affects everyone from daily commuters to summer travelers heading to Mystic, the shoreline, and Rhode Island. Here is what drivers should know. Heading north on I-95 or taking exit 86 to the sub-base, move to the lanes now, running on the southbound bridge. Making exit 85 into downtown Groton, stay right and stick to the northbound bridge. DOT says the signs will guide you, but give yourself extra time to adjust.
It's going to be, a lot of interesting traffic changes that I think once people slow down, approach the bridge, experience where they're going to have to split, part of the traffic going on the southbound span.
And the crossover isn't going anywhere soon. It will stay in place for the next 4 years while construction continues. For now, your reporter live in New London, Sierra Jordan, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.